This is CWTFB Radio. I'm your host, Charlie Machine, and we have another installment of Choose What the Future Brings Radio, always sponsored by Details, Car Audio, and Auto Detailing right on 925 Turnpike Street in Canton, Mass. That's right on 138. For all your detailing needs, interior, exterior, tinting, car alarms, remote starters, things of that nature. If you want a quick hand wash or if you want to go extensive, we have a friendly staff over there to help you out. Just let them know Charlie sent you, and then we're going to lace you up. We're going to keep you looking real fresh. Today we have a really special guest in the house, right? If you're looking at us, you can see who this is. But if you're not, this is somebody I've known since high school. Somebody I've seen grow into who she is as an artist. I was always watching her moves because I was always curious to see what she was going to do with it. I always thought she had talent lyrically, even in high school. Like, we had music class together, and we would share some bars back and forth and things of that nature. And it's refreshing to see somebody that you looked at and said, yo, something could pop with this, and to see them actually take that route and move forward with it and keep growing and growing and growing and growing. I personally think she gives me MC Light mixed with Lauryn Hill, you know what I'm saying? But her vibe is crazy, right? Lyrically, she spews intelligence, right? Like, she definitely displays that. She's a woman that knows what she's talking about and knows where she's going, and there's some pain in her music that you can feel. But there's also brightness in it because you already see what's about to happen. But I want everybody to give their undivided attention to my sister, Red Shaydez. What's going on, baby?
What's up,
How you doing?
I'm doing awesome, amazing. Long time no see.
I know it's been a minute. It's been very, very long.
But I'm happy to be here, though.
I'm glad. I'm happy that you came here, man. What's dope is your management was lit.
My booking coordinator?
Yeah. When I email was like bang. I was like, damn.
I don't play no games. Yeah. It's either yay or nay.
Yeah. It was like boom, boom, boom. So I'm like,
plus, I hate when people take too long to. All right, you get a business day, but then after that, why 3 days? Goodness, you ain't that damn busy.
I hate it. Everybody be trying to play busy.
Come on.
I get it. But yeah, man, I wanna really talk about you and celebrate you as an artist, and that as a a pioneer, really, because you're doing a lot of amazing things in the city. And I was just talking to you about your project that you dropped in 2016 that really made me put a spotlight on you, right, as an artist. Magnetic Aura. There's a lot of good sounds on there, a lot of what's the word that I'm looking for, a lot of just welcoming vibes, vibes that it made me feel comfortable, right? Hearing
that's
you.
Good to hear. That's good.
You know what I mean?
That was the whole purpose and point of it. It's a part of a trilogy. That was the first installment. Okay. So Magnetic Aura represents my energy in every sense of the word. So the good, the bad, the in between.
Right.
I didn't hold back from anything on there.
Not at all.
In person, I'm pretty much I'm private and I'm very strategic in the way I move. But if you ask me questions, I'm an open book.
Right.
And I feel like that album dive deep into some of the things that I was going through personally. But also the bright side on Catch a Vibe or other songs like that. So you hit it on the nail. It's pain, darkness, brightness, and everything. It's just an emotional roller coaster.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about your upbringing a little bit. Where are you from exactly?
Yeah. So I was born and raised right here in Boston, Massachusetts, but one side of my family on my mom's side is from Jamaica, and then I'm also from the South as well.
Right.
So I feel like growing up, I always had those three cultures, which I thought were normal. I didn't realize that there was a distinction until I got a little older. So my dinners were curry chicken, jerk chicken, oxtail, you know what I'm saying?
Shut.
And I thought that was normal until I started going to school, and people used to ask me what are you eating? I'm like, I'm like, this is rice.
This is what we all eat.
Y'all eat this shit? Y'all eat it?
What's wrong with y'all?
And then being from the South is how I adopted some of my sayings and how chill and laid back I am, and just being I'm not like bougie at all when it comes to like if we had to be somewhere outside and like get water from the well, like I'm straight.
Right,
like
with that.
I'm good.
So
I'm
what part
with
of the South your family from?
Macon, Georgia.
Macon?
Yeah, it's an hour out from Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah, they said Young Jeezy from there.
Yeah?
Yeah, originally that's what they
wow.
said. Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
Yep.
Well, that's what's up. So, like, as far as your musical, I mean, your upbringing and things of that nature, like, how did music, tie into, your life? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, as a young woman, as a young lady, and things of that nature.
Yeah, ever since I was little, my dad was in a rap group, so music was all that I saw.
Right.
I mean, I actually could remember seeing him pursue his rap career when I was a little girl, and then my mom had like this big wide collection of music of all genres. So I think that's why till this day, like if I hear a song, I can pick up the sample within the first maybe 50 seconds because we had reggae, we had dancehall, we had 80s music, hip hop, and so on and so forth.
Wow.
But my dad was like that hip hop junkie and running around with him in the studio.
Right. I remember you was telling me that.
Yeah, guerrilla marketing. Like it was sort of like I was gonna be in this regardless. It was in the cards.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So what made you want to actually pursue? It wasn't until when that you actually started recording and putting out music?
So I've been doing. So I say this. I've been doing rap and music since I was 7, but pursuing it, I'd say maybe a good 3.5, 4 years. So. Okay. I mean, I started out wanting to emulate my father. Okay. That's how I even got introduced to it. But when I really saw an actual career for myself, I probably would say around circa 2009.
Okay.
And I was recording my own self. I was doing everything I had to do to sort of put myself out there. And I had started an online radio show way back then called Red Shades at the Hour. So I was trying to get my music. I was trying to put my music out any way I could. But then I ended up going to college for 4 years, and it was sort of hard to balance going for your music career full time and I went to school for film and video. Correct. So while people were writing essays and studying for tests, my final was a movie. Okay. You know what I mean? And we got graded on the script and all this other stuff. So we were in the lab for 8 hours a day. My roommates used to be like, "Yo, where are y'all?" We would drive out to the boonies to go film stuff, and
that's dope.
I couldn't really put all of my time and focus into music. So when I ended up graduating college, my first job out of college was a private flight attendant for the Boston Bruins. Okay. So I did that.
How'd you land that?
Everybody is Indeed.com. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. It wasn't no type of plug, but they weren't promoting it as, hey, this is a Boston Bruins gig. It said Boston Bedford flight attendant. And at that point, when you're just coming out of either high school or college and you're just looking for a job, you'll take whatever you could get. Right. So I didn't want to mess with those staffing agencies. So I applied to that. Long story short, went to the interview. And they was like, we'll reach back to you in 3 weeks. They reached out in a week and a half. And they were like, yeah, we were going to place you with the Celtics, but we're going to put you with the Bruins instead. I said, the Bruins what? I was like, the Bruins for what? And they was like, some little league hockey we're flying. Yeah, I'm like, they're like, yeah, you're going to fly to Boston Bruins. I said, okay, I tried to play it cool on the phone. Then I told my parents, and it was a wrap from there. But I really loved that job, and it came when it needed to. But once I quit that job, I started going full force with music, and here we are today.
And what year was that when you started?
I'd say 2015, I was like, okay, let me start buckling down and start making a new game plan. My game plan was to start going out to more shows to see who was even out, who the local artists were at the time. Right. And so just as a fan, not even trying to put my stuff out. Right. And then
that's actually small. A lot of people don't do that.
Yeah, so I just wanted to feel it out. I wanted to see what scene am I even trying to enter. You know what I mean? I was casing it out. And then at the top of 2016 is when I dropped Serena Williams, which is on Magnetic Aura. Right. And that's when it was a statement piece. There was no chorus. The video was dark, grimy. And that's when I started just going full throttle.
Yeah, that's dope, man. So I know who you remind me of, and I said that earlier, but who are your influences? Who did you look at and said, yo, your shit's hot. I could do this. You know what I'm saying?
Growing up, it was definitely Nas, AZ, Pun, Lil Kim. Okay. Queen Latifah, Lauren, everybody, Jada Kiss for sure. Because like I find inspiration from them for different things. Not everybody like, oh, I flow like them or I'm rapping like them. Like Little Kim's grit and her approach and how she just commanded and demanded your attention. I get that from her.
Deep on,
yeah,
like
you know, like she didn't care. And like her cadence, it was just like, oh, even if you didn't like what she was saying, you're like, oh, she could flow. Like, you know what I mean? Because she didn't write, but it was like, not everybody can recite though.
Right.
So it really doesn't matter.
Right.
So and then Nas definitely for the poetic flair, but AZ for his lyrical mechanics and Pun for his like multi rhyme scheme ability, because I do that a lot. Like I've been told that I rap in like drum patterns, which I like that because it's kind of true. When I start going off and going fast, it is like a drum pattern. Yeah.
Don't nobody got better breath control than Big Pun, yo.
Come on.
And people big as fuck.
And they don't. That's what I'm
what
saying. And
like,
nobody tries to give him his credit. I'm not gonna say nobody does, but like he's underrated for sure.
In the middle with little with it.
Come on.
You know that he riddles in middle.
Come on.
Like when I first heard that shit, I was like, damn.
Yep.
You know
and if you're a real fan,
yeah.
like we listen for stuff like that. I want stuff that's gonna make me go, oh. But sometimes I just want to have fun. You know what I mean? But those are some of them for as far as back then, and then now. I love like J. Cole. I like Doja Cat. I like Rico Nasty. I like a lot of different people. I love her.
You know what's dope? How she blew up.
You think she blew? I feel like people still sleeping on her a little bit, I mean, but she got label money now.
She's buzzing right now. She's making.
I think
money
people are
music.
finally, because like she was signed like 5-6 years ago.
Really?
And
I didn't know that.
A lot of people didn't, and like it takes a while to even signed or not. It takes a while to like gain that momentum. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I feel like when she put out Moo, people were like, who is this clown? Like whatever. And then people were like, they went to go listen to her other stuff. That's how it always happens.
Correct.
And they were like, oh, she actually has talent.
Right.
So then she got those new wave of people, but now she just keeps releasing banger after banger. Her videos is like top notch.
Gorgeous. Like,
it's top notch. So I'm like, it works
like,
with the package. You know what I'm saying?
Because you know what's crazy? Like when we saw her do the Moo whatever joint. Like, it was funny, right?
Yeah.
It was like, okay. Like,
I love that she didn't give a shit.
Right. And I was looking at her and I was like, this chick's a character. She's funny. And nobody realized the sex appeal that she could bring at that point. And then when she started dropping the new shit, niggas was like, oh, she's actually sexy too.
Well, that's
like, not only is she.
I like her versatility, and I think that's what it's like. Like, don't put me in a box. You don't know what I can do. You don't. Every project's different.
Right.
And I like that. I never know what type of song I'm gonna expect when I play one of her.
That's dope. And that's kind of that's the same way I feel about you too. Like,
appreciate it.
Your
Yeah.
music. Like your music is very versatile.
Thank you. Yeah.
You could go from some real hard hitting like bars. And like,
yep.
I mean, you just delivering.
Or I do melodies too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or on this upcoming project, I'm just saying people. But I usually don't even talk much. But like. Just watch out.
You got a title for the new joint?
Yeah, Feel the Aura. It's it's the follow up to the Magnetic Aura. So it's a 3-piece installment stage. So it's Magnetic Aura, Feel the Aura, and I Am the Aura. That would be the final installment. But in between was a standalone Chillin' in the Shade EP.
That's what I was going to talk about next, because I've seen you like use that Chillin' in the Shade for a while, like well before
over 10 years.
Yeah, like well before.
That's my website.
Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So let's talk about that, like the creative process on that. Like what was your idea when you wanted to release Chillin' in the Shade?
So for the actual project, it was more so release therapy for me, because it's a heavier project, because I was going through a lot of like personal issues during that time. So some of the records on it, there's only 6 records, but some of them I needed to get off my chest. Really didn't care like if it was something that people wanted or whatever the case. I just knew that when I finished recording some of those songs, I felt like a relief, and a release. And but the actual like slogan and phrase "Chillin' in the Shade" just is on brand. Like I'm always described as being chill, laid back, and I'm chilling. I really do just be chilling, unless you get me upset. And so I be chilling in the shade. So that's why my website's chillintheshade.com. And I was like, all right, this is a Chillin' in the Shade EP to show like, yeah, I've been chilling. This is what I've been up to, but also like there's a mask behind that, and this is what I really was going through type thing. So yeah,
people got definitely for y'all that ain't never heard these projects, man. Like I don't want to dissect them on the show, but like I want people to really look into Red Shades and all this, man, because your shit's fire. It's like that.
Thank you.
And I know your style's gonna keep evolving, you know, as you move forward. But it seems like you also wear many hats, right? Like
Yes.
you do a lot, right? You're busy, like you always keeping yourself, involved. You know what I'm saying? Oh, actually, speaking of that, what was that event you did recently? It was a whole bunch of female artists. It was you, Oompa, Dutch Rebel was there. I believe was it Brandy Blaze?
Kate Swag, Brandy Blaze, and
Kate
Malia the
Swag,
model. Yeah, so that was for Black History Month. It was called Hella Black, right? Shout out to Candace McDuffie and Lindsay Cox. Lindsay Cox curates this installment series every year, and it's usually like multidisciplinary artists, so like poets and visual artists and so on and so forth. But this particular year, they thought it would be cool to get an all-female lineup of all like the buzzing femcees, for lack of a better term, as on one showcase, do a photo shoot behind it. We covered the Dig Boston and was all around like all the train stations and stuff like that, and it was a success. It was good because this has never happened in Boston before, so it's history.
That's why I was like, I was kind of bummed out that I didn't make it. By the time I was gonna get my ticket, it was sold out.
That's what everybody was telling. We was telling them. We were trying to tell people like buy it. And just a correction, like all female lineups have happened in Boston. I would shout out to Pill, shout out to a couple of other people that have done it, but not of this magnitude. Right. You know, with the press and carefully thought out, like you know what I mean.
It was a very well thought out lineup. You know what I mean? Like I got a lot of respect for all the ladies I was involved in, man, and I've been diving into a lot of Boston music as of late, obviously because of this platform.
Yeah, you do your research. I can tell. I'm
absolutely.
Like, even though you're not like out and perusing the city, like at least you're doing your homework, because there's people that they don't know what's going on or what event to go to, and then they be like, "Oh, nothing's here," and I'm like,
nah, there's a lot going on.
I feel like a lot going on.
People don't do enough. You know what I'm saying? They don't do their own, like, I'm busy. You know what I'm saying? So I be wanting to be out there, but you know what I mean?
But at least you're doing your due diligence, though. Yeah.
So there's a lot of events that I do want to show up to, and sometimes they're on Fridays, and Fridays I'm here, CWTFB Radio. So
sometimes it's in the week. I get it. Like it's Tuesday. You know that event was a Tuesday.
Right.
You know,
so it's and that's life. But you know, if I can make it, I will make it. You already know what time it is. Like, you got my support. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Appreciate
if I can make
it
it to the event, you'll see me pop up.
Yeah,
you know
for sure.
But I saw that you had an artist workshop.
Yes.
Right, at the Dorchester Art Project.
Yep.
Right. Which is also buzzing a lot right now too. Dorchester Art Project. Shout out to them.
Yeah. Shout out to DAP. I love them.
So, walk me through that. Like, what made you want to do that? Like the artist workshop.
So being like a life coach, I've been an aspiring life coach for forever. I've always been told like I give great advice and stuff like that, or like motivational speaker. And I've been doing like thank you. I do a lot of like public speaking, and I was like, oh, I might as well add that title to it. But what happened specifically? Because like for me, I don't like to rush a lot of things, and I thought that in my head, I was gonna do my workshop maybe like within the next 3 years, like when I was a little bit more solidified. But on Facebook, I kept seeing like a bunch of complaints. How you just saying artists are not doing their work. I just seen a lot of artist entitlement, a lot of complaints, or just people not knowing where to turn, not knowing where to go. And I'm like, okay, so there's a bunch of resources for us creatives here in Boston, not just singers and rappers.
Right.
And I realized the hood don't really know about it. So let me be that liaison to connect the dots. And I said, bump it. I'm about to throw a workshop. But before I did that, I did my own like little consumer research. I said, I'm about to hold a workshop that's going to cover this, this, and this. Would y'all attend that? Everybody sweared up and down. Oh, yeah. I said, okay, I see y'all be doing that. And then when the event comes, y'all don't show up, right? So I was like, okay. So I called my peoples because I'm connected to a lot of people in nonprofit.
Okay.
Because I'm a youth mentor as well. And I was like,
right,
another hat. Look, we're going to get to 30 by the end of the episode. But anyway, so I hit up the owner of DAP happens to be my bassist in my band. So it's good to have, it's a small world.
It is.
So I hit up Sam and I'm like, Sam, remember we had that meeting about the workshops? I'm like, I'm ready. Like, can we, what dates you got for January? They sent me over the dates. It was simple as that. I was like, boom, we're going to do it on a Wednesday. I said, and we'll just see how it goes. Now, I know that, you know, I'm buzzing as an artist and everything, but this was my first workshop actually like teaching other artists, doing that. So I didn't really know, what the response was going to be like. But lo and behold, we sold out 2 weeks prior to the event.
That's fire.
And then when we told people it was sold out, people still showed up at the door. So now we was over sold out.
Did
so
y'all have
in
to turn anybody away?
I didn't want to do that. They paid and they came in. That was the issue, was like, because it was my first one, I didn't want to spread myself too thin. I didn't want to be like, oh, I'm red, so hey, the whole hood gonna come. I picked a smaller venue. They had about maybe like 40, 45 seats, but we sold about like 20 more than that on the tickets, but 40 more than that showed up. Because if you look at the picture, it's like 100 people in there.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It was 100.
I was looking at the room. I was like, God damn, how many people?
They was all staying. And I was like, dang, there's no seats. The ones standing are going to leave. They all stayed and stayed after to network. Like,
how long was the event for? Like, how long?
It was 3 hours.
Okay.
Actually, the event was only 2 hours. And see, I sent a survey out just asking how it went. What are some things that you want to cover that wasn't, and whatever. And just from reviewing how that one went, I realized that my next one I want to make longer, because I'm going to factor in like an hour to network with the people that they met. Because the beginning took an hour without me even presenting, because there was 100 people in the room, so it took almost an hour to get through everybody, because I wanted everybody to know who everybody was. Because a lot of people say, oh, there's not this in Boston, there's no poets, there's no painters. And I said, state your name, your discipline, why you're here, your pronouns, all that. And then all within that room, it was photographers, writers, journalists, people that put shows on. I'm like, before I even present this presentation to you, look at you, you're welcome. Like, all that's right dope. There was like, but it was a great night. And it was like, I'm still like trying to process that, as well as many other things that have been going on. But it was great to see how much people wanted to learn, and how now I'm starting to see people from that workshop apply some of the things because the links I gave them and things I said, somebody just like got a grant because of the workshop. They got became a certified artist in Boston because of the workshop. So I was like, okay, y'all listening? You should
like think about starting like a A&R public relations firm.
That's what somebody was saying. You know what? Because I ain't gonna rap forever. So like, for sure, I might like take it on tour.
Enjoy that?
I do.
Not a lot of people enjoy that whole having to set everything up and be responsible for how things get done and delegated and I
realized that was my strong suit, because I don't trust other people like to get it done. So I was like, let me do it.
Black woman, I don't trust nobody.
Look, they're like people call it bossy. I call it leadership.
Nah, absolutely. Facts.
But I do find joy in that, and I do, people's like, you got to do another one. So there's gonna be 2 more this year, but like I'm pacing myself because I got shows still and other stuff.
You booked and you busy. That's why, honestly, like I was like, yo, shit, right? Shay said she could come. I was like, yo, hell yeah, like I'm with that.
When they told me, I'm like, Charlie, I'm like, yeah, no, that's OB right there. I'm not gonna be like, nah, I'll see you at the top.
Nah, I don't know, fam. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, maybe I could, cut my night short.
Now, if it was something like, that's what I'm saying. This goes hand in hand. It's good to have relationships, because had you have been someone else, and I didn't really know much history about the show, and it's like, because if I got a chance to stay home and sleep on the couch, I'm gonna do it.
Right.
So, but because I knew who you were, and I know, and I listened, I do my research, and I was like, oh, this is professional. You do your research on the artist. I was like, yeah, I come through. I was happy to come.
Word.
Yeah.
I appreciate it for real, man. So, as far as creating and things of that nature, I know you do collabs with certain artists. Who's your favorite person to collaborate with? If you have more than one, feel free, but just your top favorite person to collaborate with in the city of Boston.
Yeah, because I'm on a lot of people's stuff.
Right. You know what? Matter of fact, before you answer that, that record with what was it, Nancia? She's so Boston.
Yeah, she is Boston.
She is Boston, right?
Yeah,
that was fire.
Appreciate it. Yeah,
I think that record was the because for one, like obviously I had Lord Jew on the show. Brandy Blaze is amazing. right?
Energy crazy.
Energy
scare you as soon as she
stupid,
gets
dumb,
on
stupid.
stage.
Like, yo, we went to the Jadi event, right? Me and my man Steve.
Yeah.
And what's funny is I was like standing by the bar, like I was getting a drink, and I just heard her voice. I was like, who the fuck is this? So then I like ran to the stage, and then I heard her on the record with you. So then it was just like, all right, I gotta hear more.
Was it the She Is Boston or was it the Tia Tamera? Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Oh,
okay.
yeah, and the Tia Tamera.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So,
yep.
I think y'all complement each other really well. I think Oomp and Brandy Blaze actually complement each other really well.
Yeah. Did
too.
you hear the record with all three of us on it?
Is that on the Cleo joint?
Nah, it's on Brandy's Late Bloomer project that just came out. It's called Count It.
I probably have.
Okay.
I've heard that.
That one is the first time
yeah.
we all three was on a record together.
Okay. How was that? What was that experience like?
Well, when we perform it live, they don't know how to act.
Yeah, I bet.
So I don't, because I usually say, if people go, oh, you rap, or let me, I'm like, that's up for you to determine if you feeling me. I'm not really going to say too much. Like, it's different strokes for different folks. But based off the crowd, they just go crazy. They call us the Trinity.
That's awesome. It sound like an album. I don't know. Sound like an album.
Hey, you don't know what's happening.
Yeah, right. You know what I mean? Sound like an album. But talk to me about the She Is Boston joint.
Okay.
How did that come to be?
So Nancia reached out originally. I think Nancia reached out to us directly. Like, I don't think originally we knew it was going to be like this big, like female empowerment joint. And next thing you know, I saw Brandy Blaze was on it, and then last minute, Lord Jewel was on it, and then Jay Hunt, that's my boy, and he was like, yeah, we're gonna shoot the video, like we're gonna be here. And so we did it, and it came out great. And you know, Jay's crazy with the visuals, Nancy is dope, and you know, everybody did their thing, and it was a fun. I remember that shoot. It was like on a Sunday, and it was cool. And yeah, that was pretty much it. But to go back to the question,
perform that as a collective?
No, we tried. I think Nancy was trying to, but I know she probably has something up on her sleeve. But a lot of people like took to that record. A lot of press wrote about it, and again, that was probably something they haven't seen in a while in the city. So yeah, we'll see what's happening with that. But to answer your question about, I don't know if I have any favorites, but right now, like the energy is really alive. So like I can name like the last few people that I've worked with. So there's a dude from, I think he's from Mattapan, named Jay Gatz.
Okay.
We have a song called Blood, Sweat, and Tears. That was really cool creating that record because I was singing on that record and we sort of meshed well with like the rap, sing talk thing, melodic type thing. And then let's see, Eva Davenport.
Okay.
She's on my record, Come Here Little Baby. That's like a little summer bop type thing. That was fun because I get to like showcase my songwriting abilities, and when a singer can like take it and bring it to life, that just brings me joy too. Because like I'm a big R&B fan, like before rap, and so when I see that, I'm like, yeah, I just like it's so dope. But yeah, but Brandy Blaze, obviously for sure, like with that Tia Tamera record, like that wasn't planned either. Like a lot of things were happening like organically.
Were y'all just in the studio together? Like,
well, no, we weren't. This is what happened. Last year around this time, like just to make sure I was still being active, even if I didn't like have a project out, I was doing like these free verses, like just on the couch or standing up in the crib. And I released, and I love Doja Cat. This is Rico Nasty and Doja Cat's original song. Okay. So I took that and I did a verse, and the internet started going crazy. Doja Cat saw it and pressed like on it. Wow. And then and so Brandy hit me up like, hey, I wrote something to this too, because this beat's fire. Really, I haven't heard a beat like it. And I'm like, she's like, you want to just do it together? I'm like, yeah. I mean, I was just rapping in the living room, but sure. And then lo and behold, I get this text from Jay Hunt again. Okay. This is before She Is Boston. Like, so when we doing a video, and I was like, I don't really have a budget to really try to do. He's like, when are we doing the video? Oh shit! And I was like, well, my homegirl. Yeah, I was like, when I said my homegirl, Brandy Blaze is on it too. At the time, he didn't know her. Ever since then, well, he probably heard of her. Right. But ever since then, it was like, a match made in heaven. We went, shot that video, and people went crazy for that.
I told her the night that I met her, I was like, you remind me of the female Billy Dance from MOP.
Yeah, like, and screaming. When you hear her records, like, it just gets you amped. And I think That's why on her record count, because I'm on 2 tracks on her new project, but on the one at the end, the counted one with Oompa, I blacked out. They said because she got me imp. It's her fault. I'm like, y'all coming at me. But you know, if you're on a song, you hear somebody, you could count it, I'm gonna get it. You could count. I was like, oh, okay, it's go time.
Energy.
I'm like, yeah.
Transfer of energy, yo.
Yeah.
And that's how you know it's real, man.
Exactly. And so, yeah, those are some of my favorite people to collaborate with. But like, without going too deep into it, my next project, the reason why it's different from the first one is because for the first time, I have a lot of features on this project, which I've never done before as far as on my work.
Well, that's good.
And so I think people are going to really like to hear me on records with some of their local favorites. And I got to say that the ones that I've chosen are my favorites right now. And that's why I reached out to them to be on my actual project, you know? So
okay.
I just
Say
can't
no
reveal that
You're not
yet.
gonna give it all up right now.
Yeah.
I mean, no CWTFB exclusive, but whatever. So you come off as a very, very, professional artist, right?
Okay.
Like you come off really polished. You know what I'm saying? And
it's been long enough.
And that's but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I really appreciate that. It's very refreshing. So what are this like? What made you get to this point? Like, was it something that you seen in others that you was like, yo, y'all are wildin', and now you're at a point where you made a whole fucking workshop on how to create a press kit and things of that nature, right? So go through your day to day. Like, why are you this way? You know what I mean?
It took a lot of failure. I always said, and it just came up as a memory in my Facebook. Like, I always knew I was going to be successful because one is subjective, but two, because I'm not afraid to fail. Right. I was never afraid to fail because I knew that. I was going to learn from the situation and then not do it again.
Right.
And be like, okay, this didn't work this way, so now let me do this. So ever since I was little, I was told that, like, I always was so organized and by the book, as you call it. And back then, they made fun of me for it, but it ended up working out when I got older. But also as I got older, I started becoming more multidimensional because, I'm polished and I got it together now, but like, that took like over 10 years to create. Right. And also, I also still know how to have fun. Right. I balance. I'm a Libra. Shout out to the Libras.
So.
You know what I'm saying? And so, it's just as much as I'm professional and get all this stuff done, this is as much as I'm like at home chilling, just and having a good time. No work, no music. Right. Like, I just want to have. And so I make sure that I separate that because it can get hectic, man. It's busy. It's busy for us out here. And just not being in the music industry, I can imagine, but just in the music industry, like, it's a lot going on, from interviews to preparing for shows. If you got a band, just a number of things. And I just make sure my time management skills are good. That's something that I would toot my own horn about. Like, people, I'm the nicest in the city. Like, I don't care about none of that. My time management skills are unmatched.
Like, nigga, I just banged out 5 things today. Fuck you mean?
You gotta you gotta prioritize because
right.
That's why. So I made it appear, and one of my friends told me like I'm in a million places at one time. I am, but I'm really not, though, if you understand me. Like, a lot of seeds I planted years ago or months ago are blossoming now at the same time. So now it's like, damn, red's everywhere. And yes, but like, not like I'm watching it with y'all off the couch type thing. Yeah.
Right. Your name's everywhere, right?
That's
freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
Appreciate
so how do you balance that personal and that work life? Because you obviously still work a day job.
Yep.
Right?
I'm a video producer at a technology company.
Okay. And you work 40 hours a week?
So I'm a little blessed. I work from home and it's like you kind of make your own hours, like get it done. It's sort of it's non-traditional, so it's hard to explain for people that are used to like 9 to 5. Right. It's like my job has a lot of different parts, but in short, I work for the chief marketing officer of a company, and he's trying to build his brand by way of doing a vodcast, which is a visual podcast.
Right.
And he brings like a bunch of thriving like thought leaders from technology onto a show, and I'm in charge of, because I don't actually create the video, we have a production team down where he's based, but I'm in charge of doing all the guest logistics, making sure they have the guest packet and knowing what to expect. Basically, what I do for my music career, I do at work. Right. It's that's why I'm so good at it.
Yeah, to translate into this
exactly because when I'm doing, just emails and just knowing when to shut off. You said, how do I balance it? Right. Knowing when to shut off.
Right.
Because when it's me time, or if I'm with my girlfriend, like it's just us, and I'm shutting that off. You know what I mean?
Girlfriend?
Yeah, my girlfriend.
I didn't know you was a lesbian.
Oh, well, I'm queer.
Oh, okay.
So
I didn't know that.
That's all of it.
I know seriously.
Oh yeah, no, that's okay.
That.
Yeah.
I thought you were straight.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, probably when I met you, I probably thought I was, but I was 15. You
Fair
know what I'm saying?
Touche. I didn't know that about you. But.
I didn't even see the world yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's. Yeah, that's just life, right?
I hit you with a whammy.
No, it left. I was just like,
he said, "Oh,
like girlfriend."
Yeah, girlfriend.
Like, oh, shit.
But she was my college roommate, and we were best friends first. So it was sort of like when we made that transition, it was sort of just like dating your best friend, and it wasn't more like a lot of people put emphasis on. Oh, it's two girls, really? It's like, oh, I'm dating my homie.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
How long y'all been dating?
We just hit 4 years, but we've been, you could say 10, because it's just all, how some people you just meet and the vibe clicks from it. So since 2010, you know.
That's crazy.
Yeah, right?
Congrats, yo.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But see, that's what I'm saying. I keep it separate.
Right.
Like if you go on my page, like you see it. If you know, that's how it is. If you know me, you know her. You go on my page, you might see it, but nowadays, just knowing how some girls are very touchy feely, so you just never know if that's a homegirl or is that bae. Right. But no, that's straight up bae.
Right.
Yeah,
that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
But it's funny, man, because I remember when I used to rap, and the hardest part was keeping your significant other involved. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And do you ever feel like a disconnect from her because you having so much on your plate?
So it can get challenging at times, but the good thing about it is because she was my friend first. She was a part of the group of my friends that actually pushed me to go forward. They're the reasons why I'm even here right now, besides the universe and the Most High and all that, because I was shy. Right. I didn't want this fame because I knew that I had an energy that people gravitated towards, and I knew that if I did what I was supposed to do, I was gonna have a movement.
Right.
And I wasn't ready for that at the time. But they were like, "Hey, we like your music. Like, you should really go for it." And she was one of them. So she was one of the first people at my shows, supporting, wearing the shirt, buying the albums. So when it came to that time where my notoriety started rising.
Right.
It was easy for her to push back. Hey, I did, I support you. I'm here.
Right.
I was your first fan.
Just go out and do your thing.
Yeah. So now it's let the world find out about you now. I've been hip. You know what I mean?
That's dope. Does she play a part in your creative process at all? Besides being your muse?
Yeah. I mean, so she does my makeup a lot of times when I have for instance, when I have big stuff. So last summer we were on Fox 25 News, and I was like, "Hey, can you do my?"
I saw that, yo.
Yeah.
I was like, "Damn."
I was in Mattapan too.
Shades on fucking Fox 25. I don't even like Fox News.
Me either, but
shit.
I did that day.
You know what I mean, right? Yeah. I was like, "Yo, that's fucking crazy."
Yeah. Well, and plus
Over
it was the
Boston. It was at Elmont Park.
Yeah.
I was like, "Yo,
it was for Zip Trips, and can I tell you how that happened?
How that happened?
So this is what I'm just telling you. It's you just never know being at the right place at the right time. There was a curator. That's what we're calling people that create events and stuff. And they threw a festival called Mattapan Love in another park over there, Ryan Playground.
Right.
And that person knew somebody from the mayor's office, arts and culture, right?
Okay.
Who happened to be a Haitian woman.
Okay.
And yep. And she reached out to that curator saying, "Hey, Zip Trips is coming to Mattapan." And everybody was they coming to the hood, they coming to Zip, because usually they go to Belmont, Andover,
I wish I knew about that prior.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I grew up in Mattapan.
Exactly. She was like, "Yeah, they're looking. They don't know. See, the mayor's arts and culture, they don't really know what's going on in the local scene, so they don't know who we are, no matter how big we think we are."
People who's out here.
So luckily, she was like, she loves me. So she was like, hey, we got Red Shades, but let's see if they're available. It was very last minute. It was like, I found out, originally they told me like, oh, it's tomorrow. And I was still going to make the pieces hit.
Right.
But luckily I had a week to like prepare. So that's how it happened. And I was like, oh shoot, like, is this ready? So I said, I gotta get my band. I'm like, I said, yo, I'm sorry, this is, I'm not last minute like this, but boom, we about to be on the news. Meet here, do this time. This is a song we're doing. And they was like, bet. And we all just popped up on the park, and that was such a great day. That was such a great day. You know
awesome,
what I'm saying?
Yo.
And
that's
that
dope,
people that didn't know me found out about me. Just imagine, like, you don't know who Red Shades is, and then
now
your
she's
first
on
time is on the
525.
news, so they're like, oh, she must be serious.
Oh, she got the
like,
cheat code, yo.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Who the fuck
saying?
is this?
You know what I'm saying? But then people that did know me and people like yourself because there's like, I feel like my fan base is mixed with people who knew I've been doing this forever to people who's just now getting hip and people that found out maybe like 2-3 years ago. Right. And so those people that been knew me was like, that's Red motherfucking shit.
Right?
They're like, I used to go to school with her. Like,
I'm looking at this shit like, yo, what the fuck?
Yo, right? So there's this other rapper dude. He tagged me like, are you kidding me right now? They said Red on the news. And so it was like a celebratory type thing, and that worked wonders for me. And then 2 months after that, Chizz, like can I still call you Chizz?
Of course.
Oh, okay, yo. 2 months after that is when I was on MTV, yo. My song, they put it in a trash TV show like that. They call it trash reality TV.
Yeah. I heard about that.
So,
What TV show was it?
X on the Beach.
Right. That's what it was. Yes. Yeah. Actually, I think I caught that episode and I tweeted about it or some shit like that, like on some random shit.
Did you at me?
What the fuck? I don't even know if I did, but like, it was like some random shit. Like I don't even remember the TV show, but I remember hearing your song on it.
Yo,
and I was
man.
like, yo,
and that wasn't even it's not even my song. Like, it was, how that happened was a producer, shout out to Alfie. Producers, have a lot of different ways that they make money.
Absolutely.
And there's this thing called like a music library,
right.
And you make music for that library like that they want. With hopes that it will get placed, but nothing's guaranteed. So if there's anything ever telling you pay this much and we're gonna get you placed, it's a lie because it's just probability. You know what I mean? Right. Anyway, he reached out to me to do a song. They told me that they wanted it to be alternative hip hop. And we're on a topic of versatility before. They said high energy in the chorus. We don't really care about what you say in the verses, but make sure when that chorus comes on, it's high energy. Right. So I was like, okay. So I did it and they liked it and they made there was a couple of different versions. They made like a couple of changes, but for the most part, that was the song. Right. And we made it, this was like 2018, the fall of 2018, and I forgot about it. A year later, almost an exact year later, again, nobody called me, nobody told me, nobody tweeted me, nobody said nothing. That's how, because you just get your back end royalties if you sign all your correct paperwork, which we did. So I'm going through updating my website, and I searched my name just to make. Now they have Google alerts, so that's what they'll be like, your name was mentioned in this article. Right. So I went to upload my press tab. Right. And I'm scrolling down, and it was like, oh, Red Shades MTV soundtrack, and I'm like, hold up, I'm like, MTV. I ain't been on MTV. So I'm like, so my first thought was like, did somebody steal my name? And I had just trademarked my name the year prior, so I was like, I go on it. It's a Spotify playlist, and I'm scrolling down, and then I see Red Shades About My Business. So I'm happy with just that alone, but I didn't know anything about the show yet. So I'm like, oh, I'm on an MTV playlist. I'm like, that's super dope, right? I scroll down, it goes, season 3, episode 12. Red Shades plays when Devin, and for people that know the show, they know that I don't know who these people are, but Devin talks to Marie. So I'm like, hold up. I go on my Fire Stick, I pull that episode up. I'm fast forward because it was like, oh, it's like song 3. I go fast forward. They played it, Chizz, and I was like, and then my name came across the screen. I was like, I almost fainted. I was like, because being an independent artist,
absolutely.
like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, damn, like, it's not because of a label.
Right.
Nobody can say, oh, I'm the reason why you was on, like.
It wasn't no palms getting greased.
There wasn't no cosign.
Right.
Us producer and I did a record a year ago.
Right.
And they, out of all songs out that library, they picked mine.
That just means that your shit's hitting.
You know what I'm saying? I just, that's universe, man. I'm telling you, it don't happen for no reason. So
fire.
A lot happened. Like, I feel like people that just caught on to me within the last 2 years, they're just looking at me like this comet out the sky and like all these great things and blessings are happening. I'm like, child, honey,
but that's
it's
what I was
been
saying.
10 years.
That's what I was saying to you earlier. I was like, yo, you're one of those artists that once you hear something from you, you're gonna want to dig in the crates and go back and go back.
Yeah, they just think it happened
right?
overnight, and it's like real people can attest. Like, no, it took a lot for me to get to this point.
Right.
Like I said, I had to find my sound. I had to find,
right.
Okay, what's working for me, what's not, and just also just staying resilient and perseverant because it gets discouraging. I mean, I was gonna quit so many times.
What was the most frustrating part about growing as an artist that you can like give to new artists now, like as far as piece of advice, like this is what you need to expect and what you need to grow through type shit?
Well, for me, one of my, and still today, is just like the funding, the lack of funding can like stifle your creativity,
right?
But it shouldn't halt like your pursuit. Just I say make do with what you have. That was my new game plan, because even till this day I still don't have a budget, but because of all the things I've accomplished, it looks like I got this like big machine behind me, but I don't. Just imagine what I could do if I did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You're
but like
independent, right?
I'm completely independent. I don't have a
label,
manager,
nothing?
just a booking coordinator.
Okay.
Just a booking coordinator. There's no like, if you want to call it like label, like my 369 Music Group is a conglomerate that I started that just to distribute my music on. But like, there's no other artist.
Woman over here, you're mad business savvy.
Thank you.
I love that.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta get the check some way. I'm like, they gotta write it to something, and I gotta, the taxes.
Right.
As a self-employed
this is
business.
what I'm talking about. This is the language that a lot of artists are not speaking.
And that's why I did the workshop.
Yeah.
Because instead of like being like, whoop-de-doo, look at me, I'm shitting on y'all niggas. I'm like, I think real leaders are people that can create other people around them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That better. Like, I'm okay if you end up doing better than me. Success is subjective. Like, if I could say, hey, I had a hand in your upward trajectory, then I'm like, yo, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
For me, it's deeper than the music, and that's what I always say. Like, for other people, they may want, to be signed and they want to tour and do it, and that's great. But for me, I know that I was put here to impact people by way of music and by way of like, helping people find their niche, so to speak. So
what is your end goal? I mean, like, do you know what your end goal is? Or are you kind of like still in it and you're figuring it out while taking control, or are you like, okay, boom, I want to have my label, I want to put artists under here?
Oh no, I know, definitely none of that, because that's just too much to work with people and their work ethic. And I'm just like, I'm good, but I'll teach, here and there. But for me, I would love to be able to make a living off my music full time without having to have a day job, which I'm headed in the right direction of that, just to be able to be like, all right, my music is paying my rent, it's paying like my utility, stuff like that, because it's hard to get to that point, but once you find a way to get paid, it's sort of like a domino effect from there. But for me, like, my end goal as far as the actual artist, touring, come home, tour, come home, videos are my strong suit. Like, I love doing visuals. So, I mean, I see myself ending up on a movie set. I see myself being an A&R of some sort. Okay. Definitely teaching.
I could definitely see that.
But definitely teaching in some type of capacity. Like you said, I might still do the workshops and stuff. But definitely don't want to do the music forever. But it's always a part of me. And I think I'm always going to write.
Yeah.
Regardless.
I still write.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like release therapy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. You know what I mean? Like, I've caught myself, falling into like, a functional depression, and like just me writing gets me out of it. Like, you know what I mean? Just putting it down, even if I delete it later.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just to get it out. It's just to get it out.
I'm over here with voice memos and shit. You know what I'm saying? I remember one time my niece was like playing on my phone, and she's like, "Uncle Charlie, like, you swear a lot." And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Oh, there's a whole bunch of like recordings on your phone." And I was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Like,
but that works for you, right?
And that's what I mean. Like, so as somebody who has made music, I've been writing since forever. So you know what I mean? It's one of those things that's always going to be a part of me. So I definitely understand that it's always going to be a part of you as well. But the fact that what I love about you, man, is that you putting otting other people in position to win. You know
Thank
what I mean? You also mentioned about a nonprofit. What was the nonprofit that you had?
So I'm a youth mentor at a nonprofit called the Hip Hop Transformation Program. It's based in Cambridge, but kids from all over can join. It's just that they get paid to this is what the kids do. They get paid to come in for 6-7 weeks, write, record, and perform their music that they did. So what happens is it's sort of like making a band if you think about it, right?
A stipend at the end?
No, they get it every week.
Every week.
Every week.
Every week.
Yes, these are teenagers. That's like y'all don't know y'all getting paid to rap and sing.
Yo, I'm 17.
And make beats.
Sign me up.
Exactly. So, but also with that, we're teaching them financial literacy. We teach them the differences between being a major artist and independent because
fuck you need college for. Go to this shit.
Yo, you know what I'm saying?
What's it called? Say it again.
The Hip Hop Transformation Program. So. We provide them. They'll get it when they get older and they have to fend for themselves, but they get free studio time.
That's half the battle.
They have, for the most part, they have the creative control to write about whatever they want, as long as it's not gang related or, talking about telling someone I'm about to come, Molly Whoppy, blah, 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 like that. But for the most part, they rap about what they want. And the funny thing is, a lot of people dismiss the kids from those ages, which are 13 to 18, I think. Right. And y'all aren't going through anything. They're going through a lot. And if you actually listen to those songs, you'll hear it. And I think it's release therapy for them. Absolutely. But also wish showing them how to be an artist. So we did a lot of new things this past summer that we hadn't done in the past. So we threw them a listening party to see what it's like to throw a private event, invite people, let them hear the track before it comes out. They have this big end of the year showcase where actual people know about it and they come see it. Millie's came and watched it. Sometimes came through and a lot of local artists that are soaring right now come and speak to them during the pre-production process, and then during there's a 1 week of it's go time. They gotta get all the songs recorded, memorize all this stuff. So where I come in is, so I started off volunteering, just coming through a couple of days a week, helping people with tightening up their lyrics and stuff. But now I'm the artist development director, so I'm helping with stage presence, how to tighten up flows still, and just also other part. We did a presentation, like I said, all right, if you're major, this is what happens. If you're independent, you got to spend this much, but you get more of the reward type thing like that. So it's really, and we don't tell them stay independent. It's here's all the pros and cons. You figure out which you want to do. Right, you know what I'm saying?
Go your own route.
And they're not, so they even got this app to book their studio time because they got to allocate those hours wisely.
Right,
so every week it re-ups.
Yo, that's
fine, so
that's dope.
Yeah, so for me that's not work.
Right.
I'm chilling. I'm sitting back watching them cook up, and I forgot to mention the best part. Local artists such as myself, we jump on the record. So there's always somebody on the record. I be giving them some of my best verses.
That's crazy.
Yo, yeah.
You got these young cats over here I got red shades on my
yeah. Yo, and every time when I first meet them, when they the intro week, they're yeah, whatever, I'm just ready to cook up, whatever. I don't care who this is or who whatever. Then when they start following us and they actually see, because the people involved are in their own rights and in their respective industries are big people.
Right.
They don't realize that the person that started this is an executive director of a whole nonprofit. The engineer is this award-winning engineer. They don't care about that. You know what I'm saying?
And also,
But then when they do their research, they're oh, and it's just so great. Because I don't get to see them on a day-to-day because I got all this going on. But when I do pop up, they're just so happy to see me. Those are my babies.
That's fine.
So, yeah.
I'm really happy to hear that.
THHT, that's their nickname.
THHT, man. Say it again.
The Hip Hop Transformation Program, THHT.
Transformation Program in Cambridge. We definitely need to hear more about that. I'm going to look into that myself. I'm really I'm over here this is probably my favorite interview so
far. For real?
Not dead ass. I'm not even exaggerating.
I mean, there's so many ways we can go. I didn't know which way.
And there's so much more that we can talk,
so
but I always try to keep it to an hour.
It's an hour already?
We're always almost.
Dang, I didn't even know.
I'm God damn, right?
we didn't touch the surface.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, yo, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just looked at the time, like, yo, this is crazy, yo. But so as far as 2020, right?
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Like, what at the end of this December of 2020, what is Red Shades? How are you gonna feel accomplished at the end of 2020? Like, what are your goals for this year?
So so you said I didn't give y'all any exclusives off air. I'm about to.
Okay.
But on air, I'm working on this really big. So like this project this time around is not the typical like, hey, I'm doing an album, hey, I'm doing a release show. This is the listening party. Everybody come out and hear it. This is gonna be, and mark my words, a rollout that has never been seen before, at least locally.
Okay.
And it's what I'm doing has been done before, but not the way I'm doing it. So when you see it, you'll be like, oh, okay, I get what she's talking about. It's not that, nobody has ever done this with their album. They did, but not like me. You know what I'm saying? So it's about to be good. So like, just keep watching closely because each month into this year will be more sprinkles, and it will be like puzzle pieces.
Right.
And you'll be able to put it together because the album's coming out in July.
Okay.
And so by December, I don't really know. So what I do is I tentatively plan because I always leave room for error. Like what's going to happen is going to happen, and I'm going to have to plan accordingly to that. But what I can hope to see, is just to be more solidified in who I am as a person as well as an artist, be more accomplished, put more people on, and perform, out the country and stuff. I'm waiting to hear back on a couple of things, but that's pretty much it, man. I just want to create.
All right. And just keep creating, man. I mean, creators are going to create, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter how you do it.
Yeah.
You're going to figure out a way to do it. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Speaking of creating, you came prepared to give us some bars today?
I got some bars. I'm going to give y'all, I'll start right here. What kind y'all want to hear? You want to hear like I would say grimy, like, or you
rap. Just whatever
rap?
you feel.
I'm gonna give y'all two free verses.
Whatever you rap.
I'm gonna give two free verses, okay?
No beat?
Nah, I'm gonna give y'all straight acapella.
All right, shit, I'm with that. I'm with that. Come on.
All right,
let's get it.
All right, let's get it. Here's the first one. Listen. All right, they see the face and forget that Shaydez is a true spitter. One of the only not having a bunch of dudes with her. Got your attention with slick the media to massacre it. No need here to fabricate it. I'm eager to be your favorite. I will continue, but forcing lines is not what I'm into. I don't care where we are, big or small. I will kill the venue. Back with a vengeance, you and your feelings don't get offended. Not rapping just to be rapping. I'm lethal with every sentence. Say it with passion just so you feel it and know I meant it. Oh, you're the cure, please. That just means I'm the disease that'll leave everybody infected. That's what you get up at events and not come and protect. And I ain't hating, I don't care who they playing instead. People sleeping on me, tell their asses to stay in the bed. Cause when it's too late, they'll say I'm acting too fake. That's fine, cause I know I'm going places you ain't. See you in my city with my CD, I won't say thanks. Then I'll tell you that I never noticed with a straight face. There's a lot of things I want in life, but your bae ain't. When you see him, get him out my DM, he could vacate. And right there's where I'ma end it on him. Said y'all could find somebody harder, but I never saw him. Easy.
Come on, let's go. Red Shade. Let's go. That's funny that you said that, man. Like, your bae, I ain't never seen. And now I know that you got a girlfriend. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit. That's just crazy to me.
That was when I was straight, though.
Okay, all right. Because you know what I mean?
I'm not even... Yeah, I still...
so, like, dudes still, like, be, like, throwing it at you? Like, and nobody knows. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not like you publicize it.
Yeah, it's not like... I'm not online like, hey, I'm queer, guys. I like men and women.
That word is very popular right now.
Queer?
Queer.
Right?
Why queer?
Because like lesbian just means like
you like women.
You just like but only.
Okay, so
queer is like
you're not limited to women.
Wind blow. Yeah, like it's just.
You like what you like.
Yeah. Period.
Okay.
Like like the word. Have you heard of pansexual?
Was that some intellectual?
You've heard of that?
Joint?
Nah. Pansexual means like you're attracted to all, like it really just doesn't matter. Like if the vibe is right, like whatever. But for me, that's what I used to call myself, but I realized like it's just I don't know what all these labels, man. If
is that the Q? Is that the Q in the LGBTQ?
Right?
It's like
I'm queer. Look, I ain't straight. I tell you that. That's what I do know. I'm not straight, but I'm also not like this one day. It just happens. My shorty is who. We happen to fall in love, and that's what it is. But before her, I was with a man, and that it's just a journey, man. I can't really.
You know what's funny?
I
always make jokes about sexuality, and people always take it the wrong way.
I don't though,
because like I'm just a funny ass nigga. Like
I
just be capping on shit. Cause I laugh about everything. Like,
I
my mom had a stroke, and a week later I was joking about it. But it's not because I don't care about my mom. It's just that's how I like. That's how I process shit. Right?
I'm cognizant. I'm cognizant of the fact that there are people like because they have different fights than us. I know that because you can't just look at me and be like, "Oh, you're gay." I know that people can already tell, like they have a different fight than me, and I'm aware. So maybe they're a little bit more sensitive, and I understand that.
Right.
But for
me,
it's like
let it
as
go.
long as
Whenever
you're not
people
disrespecting me, like if it's a it's a joke. Like I'm from back in the day where. There was everybody got rashed.
Right.
You know, and it really didn't matter what was going on.
Growing up, faggot was like my favorite insult.
Right, but look, some things I do feel is disrespectful today, and I'm glad they're being called on it today. But there's other things where it's like, come on, guys, what jokes can we tell?
We can come up with different jokes.
Different jokes.
It doesn't have to be right.
Because some stuff is derogatory and hurtful for some people,
and intentionally hurtful.
But if we base it off today's world, we can't really say nothing.
Shit. Like
nothing. If you don't want the smoke, don't say anything. Because they're going to twist, they're going to take this clip like, oh, Chizz said that, blah, blah, blah.
My mans was hitting me the other day. Like, Chizz, you got to chill with your tweets, my nigga. Like, yo, they going to kill you, bro. And I was like, what you mean? He's like, yo, my nigga, you be going a little too hard on the LGBT. And I was like, what did I say that was so crazy?
What you be saying?
I was asking questions.
Okay.
I was asking about the whole D-Wade thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so you was asking a question. Okay.
I was just more like, but because the way I worded it, I was getting attacked. Like, I was like, would you allow your 12-year-old child?
Word.
And then I was like, damn, maybe allow wasn't the right word. Like, leave me alone, my nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I do feel like, Black Twitter is like super sensitive.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, and then you had this other dude who I ain't know him, but like, he seemed queer, so then I assumed he was gay. And then he was like, well, I'm not even gay. You don't know me, nigga. Your true colors is coming out. And I was like, damn. I was like, you look like a widow, bro. I'm sorry, my nigga.
Lord. Like, Plus, you came from a different era where it was just you're just like whatever you're feeling.
Yo, listen, I'm a Haitian. I'm a Haitian descendant, right? My parents is OD Haitian. Mm-hmm. I grew up in Mattapan with like a hood of ass niggas. So when you got all these tough ass, masculine ass men growing up, like it's like okay.
What I feel I feel like all people need to realize that we all grew up differently, and we all got a different fight, and we have a different upbringing. And that it's okay if that we grew up different. So just how they you want to understand them, I think they should, and when they could be whoever, should take the opportunity to understand you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For me, I think because I study sociology, as I'm always looking at the way. Why people do what they do. Or for instance, you just explained, like, it's not like you came out the end like, I'm saying this because you grew up this way. Right. This is what you were exposed to. Right. And this is that. But then take a look at this person over here. They grew up this way. They might have had 2 moms in the home. They thought all of that is fine. Whatever. Where you're from, that don't fly. Neither is right. Neither is wrong. Right. But y'all need to respect each other at the end of the day.
And that's what I mean.
Because I'm human.
I'm okay with different perspectives.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, just because I might not understand your lifestyle, I don't have to understand this shit. It's not for me to understand it.
Just respect me as an individual. That's all I'm asking.
And that's it. So if I'm asking questions, niggas should be able to ask questions. That's all I'm saying, man. But either way, I digress.
But you said aloud.
right. So. Niggas like, oh, what if I allow myself to slap the shit out you? I'm like, damn. Yeah. Right?
The thing is, it's like you take it. Yeah. What? It's just like, damn.
What, yo? Now I gotta get the shit slapped out of me. Like what the fuck?
I'm at a cross between like either people do the most to get a joke off, or they can't take a joke at all. Right. Like they're saying some crazy wild stuff to get a response, or something that was literally innocent and just like you said, a question. Right. They going crazy. So like, what do you want? Do you want people to ask so they can understand, or do you want to like, what are we doing?
Right. You know what I mean? So, but shit. Yeah, it is what it is, man. You gonna spit that other verse? Or?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll spit another verse for y'all.
Red Shades, CWTFB Radio. Got some balls for you.
Listen, I'm not the one to play the victim. They gave me freedom of speech, but when I speak, it seems as the world never listens. And not to mention stressing about my ties with gender too. They told me not to speak my mind, but me, I like to bend the rules. Me, I'm often sexualized, afraid to wear the clothing lines that compliment and show my size, and often bring a load of guys. Drooling hard and so their eyes, they follow me, they open wide. First thought that comes to mind is disappear or go and hide. Why? I asked them, is that all I am to you? Every goal I crush is not enough. You think a man would do a better job? Swipe credit cards, flights, getting balls. That's all women do, at least to you. See, we don't get applause for nurturing. Fields we're working in, they feel our worth to men is non-existent. Hardly honor women with my skin is sickening. See, we're so different. At times it makes me feel like I'm too much. Maybe it's my hips, the way they shift and compliment my strut. Maybe it's my confidence. I switch my do from month to month. When I raise my voice, they call it rude. For you, they call it blunt. They say my hair ain't right. My appearance might offend, put fear in whites. They don't care, my life's a struggle. Every day I clear, I wipe the tears I shed. But my mama always saves me. She told me, go for what I want, but just make sure I don't get angry. A black woman mad is seen as foul, cruel, and crazy. And as a way to tame me, they pay me low and make me act in certain ways we don't identify and try to rectify, like I'm a project that needs to be fixed. Like I'm just some machine with buttons you think you could click. Bitch, I'm a whole human being, and you see I exist. Maybe you'll recognize me more when I throw up the fist. But I realize I don't need the man or the world's approval. I'll just continue doing me. Well, you know the usual. And the hate will still go on and some issues will offend you. But yes, I'm staying strong and I pray that it gets better. If I didn't teach y'all nothing, here is one thing to remember. That yes, I am a woman, but I am not my gender. It's red shades, bitch.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Stop playing with her. Stop playing with her, yo. My sister, Red Shades. This was a real dope episode.
Thank you.
I'm like really excited about this. Let the people know how to find you on social media.
All right, what's up, everybody? This your girl, Red Shades. And just so you know, the spelling is RED space SHAYDEZ. You can find me everywhere at Red Shades, the number 1. And my website is chillintheshade.com. No G. Holla.
So I'm glad you came up here to give us like a taste of your story, like a fraction of your whole palette, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you got a lot of going on. I respect your grind. I respect your hustle. I respect your mind. I respect your creativity. So anything you got going on, let me know, man.
Oh,
like,
for
you
sure,
let
for
me know.
sure.
If I can make it, I'm gonna definitely be there.
Okay.
I'm a fan. Like I'm a fan
thank
first.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I keep telling people like I'm not gonna have nobody on the show that I'm not genuinely a fan of. And understand that. Like, you know what I mean? When you come up here, I'm speaking from a perspective of a fan first.
Yes.
I just want to know more.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Just
like,
asking a question.
Yeah, and that's it, right? Just asking a question, people.
Would you allow Red to come? No, I ain't never gonna let you live that.
But do you have any closing pieces that you want to leave the people with?
Man, to all the aspiring artists and creatives out there, it gets really hard. I know that's cliche, but if it's something you truly and honestly want to do, keep fighting, man, and just keep going back to the drawing board, and also lose that artist entitlement, man. Nobody owes you anything. You need to do your homework, and you need to grind, and then you'll start seeing some return of investment for sure. And I'm out.
And that's how you choose what the future brings, ladies and gentlemen. It's Charlie Machine. We here with Red Shades, man. We out. Till next time.